Hello again, welcome back to the channel. My name is Shay. Today we're going to be checking out a video called 10 Things a Filipina Fears When Dating a Foreigner by the Filipina P. I know what you're thinking, this is kind of a bit of a random video to react to, but when you really think about what channel you're on right now, is it really that random? I don't think so. I'm kind of just out of curiosity. This is really the only reason why I'm reacting to this video. I am curious as to what these 10 things are, and if I can somehow require this knowledge and apply it to future life decisions, then I feel like that is a win-win in our books. We get the content, we get the knowledge, and we get the girlfriend. On a serious note, I thought this might make for a good video. I feel like I got a few things I can say about this, although it's from a Filipina's point of view. There is actually another video that is 10 things a foreigner fears when dating a Filipina, which I definitely want to watch. So I don't know, we might make this a back-to-back recording, but let's play the video. Shout out to the Filipina P. This is the first time I've come across this channel because we're reacting to a video. She obviously deserves a shout out. So hopefully it's okay react to this video. If not, well, that's life, isn't it? Well, okay. I literally saw this in my recommendations one day. So,
hi folks, the Filipina P here, telling it like it is.
hello.
Well, it's time for some serious truth bombs today. But this time, I'm gonna drop them on myself and all my Filipina sisters. Not
She
as
sounds
any
slightly
kind of
American.
attack or criticism, but as an honest look at our darkest fears when it comes to relationships with
Filipino American?
foreigners. Once again, I'm gonna go where other channels don't.
Filipina in
by
America.
discussing a perspective you probably won't hear
Lovely.
anywhere else. Thanks to my actually being a Filipina and also one who's willing to discuss the subject. Some of these fears are grounded in reality, some in fiction, some are funny,
Very
and
well
some are
spoken.
universal and unsolvable. But these are the things we worry about and obsess over. So if you want an inside look at
Definitely
the things
do.
that keep us up at night,
I need some help.
here goes. First, let me explain a cultural situation here that's really at the heart of the matter.
Ah, yes.
You have to understand what it's like to grow up as a Filipina, with your friends, family, parents, and the church all telling you that your primary goal is to marry and reproduce. The mantra of married with children is enough to give Al Bundy a migraine, but it's pounded into our heads from birth and becomes the bedrock of a Filipina's identity. It also explains the reason why so many of us Filipinas already have quite a past when you meet us, even at a very young age. Sometimes we've already had a husband, a child or two,
Oh,
and we
shit.
seem almost desperate to settle down before the music stops and there's no more chairs available. What's difficult for some foreigners to understand is that despite how slow everything else is here, the life cycle of the Filipina is actually sped up to such a degree that if we reach the age of 30 without having a husband and at least one child, we're considered past our expiration date by society.
What?
In fact,
I've never heard
this may
that.
come as a shock, but we even get labeled as leftovers if we find ourselves in that position. Yup, leftovers
Doesn't make any
at 30.
sense to me.
While many Western women are still completing
What?
their education into their mid-20s and beyond, and haven't even seriously considered having children yet, they're already at an age that creates panic in many Filipinas who see their chances slipping away fast. That may explain why even nice girls from the province may already have a child and a few ex-boyfriends by the time you meet them.
It's starting to make
You
sense
start
now.
chatting with an innocent-sounding Filipina, and in your mind, you imagine that they must spend every Sunday kneeling in church. But when you discover the reality of their situation, it becomes obvious that they've been kneeling in other places as well.
Oh my
And
god.
so often happens, their boyfriend or husband has left them,
Humor's on
and they
point.
see their prospects as dismal at best. Then, suddenly, you pop onto the scene, full of hope and promise.
An
So why
aspiration.
should a Filipina be scared of that? What's to be afraid of? Well, leave it to us to bury ourselves under a mountain of worries, some very real and some just plain silly. So let's dive right into that black hole of
Yes,
insecurity,
please.
shall we?
Our past.
Ever wonder why getting us to talk about our past is like pulling teeth?
Everyone has a past,
Well,
though.
first, in our culture, people just don't discuss those things. Filipino men rarely ask their partners about past relationships, and there's a don't ask, don't tell policy in effect here. It's almost like a game we play. They like to assume we're all virgins, even
Is
with a
that
child in
true?
our arms. Then you guys come along and bluntly ask us things about our past, and our first reaction is to duck and cover,
Because this is
run
obviously,
and hide.
let me stop this. This is obviously from her point of view. So she's speaking from her experiences. So I don't know how much we can really take from this video, but it's interesting nonetheless.
We have a real fear of discussing our past because it bears all our mistakes for you to see. And that's just not the Asian way of saving face. It's one of the reasons why we often deny having children when in fact, we've sent them to live with a relative and a lot of other deceptions we're guilty of.
What?
We may have debts you're not aware of, and you have more chance of single-handedly raising the Titanic than of getting us to tell you our actual notch count. We feel like we need to be perfect for you, or you'll reject us, especially with all the other options available to you.
The physical fears.
Unlike Western women who often receive plenty of male attention despite physical issues like extra weight or unfortunate piercings, we Filipinas think that one little flaw could be the difference between landing a good guy or getting
This
past
goes for
it.
everyone though. This applies to everyone.
Competition is that tough here, and we know it. It's so tough, in fact, that little things you'd never even notice can destroy our confidence right when we need it the most. For instance, Filipinas have a thing about armpits. We think that ours are ugly because sometimes they have dark lines and chicken skin, instead
I'm
of the
so
smooth
confused.
underarms of Western women. It can bother us so much that we'll keep our arms clamped
I need to read
together
the comments after this.
even when greeting you for the first time at the airport. Hello! Now I know that's not
Oh
something
my
that you
god.
guys would
This
even
is
notice.
a lot to take in
And I
right
don't
now.
think I've ever heard a foreigner say, "Oh man, I had to dump her. Did you see those pits? She'd have to wear long sleeve before I'd tap that." But for whatever reason, a guy with an underarm fetish is a Filipina's kryptonite. Unfortunately, dental work isn't high on the priority list here, and many of us have too many cavities or crooked teeth that are badly in need of orthodontics. You'll notice that a lot of Filipinas get braces as an adult when they can finally afford them. It's actually a status symbol here. But many of
Is
us
it?
simply can't shell out 80,000 pesos necessary to correct the problem. As a result, you'll often encounter Filipinas who've seen enough TV to believe that every Western woman has an endless row of bright white teeth, which makes us a lot less likely to smile or even talk. Strangely,
I can understand the whole
the one
teeth
thing
thing,
that we can
obviously.
easily do something about is what many of us
yes.
ignore.
Hmm.
While being among the most feminine-looking women on earth, many Filipinas seem oblivious to their thick, lustrous, flowing hair on the upper lip. If a Filipina is interested in dating a foreigner, it would be prudent to put away that obsession with armpits and pull out a waxing strip instead. We don't need you guys coming up with more slogans like, "If there's hair on the lip, I'll give her the slip."
I mean, these are easy fixes
Someone
though. Like
needs to pass around a memo.
anyone can fix these
Maybe I
issues.
just did.
I don't think
The
it's just.
imaginary fears.
Well, this is for
The
Filipinos.
fear?
So.
That we're inadequate in bed. Even if we'd had our fair share of sexual encounters,
I wouldn't know.
Filipinas
wouldn't know.
imagine all sorts of exotic tricks and talents that Western women must know that we're not privy to. We think of our own past encounters as being clumsy and brief, which they often are, and fear that you guys expect more exotic shenanigans in the bedroom involving whipped cream and swinging from chandeliers.
I think all guys are like that
this
though.
may
Maybe
have
not all
some
guys.
basis in reality.
I'm not speaking from
But I've
personal
never heard a
experiences.
guy who ended up things with a Filipina because of her lack of experience. Then there's the concern about our language skills. Even though we probably know a lot more English than you know Tagalog,
Sure.
instead of being proud of our multilingual abilities, we feel awkward and incompetent. We're afraid of being judged by you. So instead of trying to communicate, sometimes we just sit there in silence. We're happy to have you order something for us in the restaurant so we don't have to try pronouncing the menu items. And all of us have learned
feel
the
the same way when
phrase,
trying to
whatever
pronounce
you want, in
all these
order to
Filipino
minimize our
dishes.
need to speak or share an opinion.
Relationship fears.
We Filipinos are often afraid that we don't measure up to the other women of the world that you might have had relationships with. Sexy, adventurous, sophisticated women
Can't
who
think
can
like that,
swim
though.
gracefully,
You know,
climb
because
mountains,
it'll screw you
and
up.
entertain wealthy guests at cocktail parties after coming home from their Pilates classes. Thanks to the images we've been exposed to, we have a distorted view of what it means to be a Western woman, even if it's far from the truth. You think of us one way, we see ourselves another way. But reality is irrelevant. It's all perception.
Exactly.
Sometimes
Beauty
we
is in the
perceive
eye
ourselves
of the
as
beholder.
inferior because our life experiences are so limited. So what are we really, truly terrified of? That will give you the best remaining years of our youth and beauty and our devotion to you, and you'll end up leaving us. It's happened already to many of us. The men that say they love us one day are gone the next, sometimes leaving us with children to make future searches for a mate even more improbable. It's a reality here, so we expect it. We wait for it. And all the while, our clocks are ticking at a frantic pace because of the expectations of our culture. Unfortunately, to combat the possibility of being abandoned, some Filipinos adopt an offensive strategy of, I'll get them before they get me, and use the same tactics in reverse, playing men against each other and jumping from one ship to the next,
Really?
leaving them on fire and sinking with little care or remorse. But much of that despicable behavior is based in fear, fear of being rejected or replaced. And while you might say,
I wonder how much of
that's
this
true
is
anywhere
actually
for both sexes,
accurate.
let me explain how it really is different. Because foreigners hold most of the cards here. I'll make my last point and use an analogy to do it. Filipinos see the dating scene here in the Philippines like a giant car dealership with an endless lot of different makes and models, all of them for free. There are Ferraris and Ford Pintos, brand new ones and old rusty ones that barely run. And even if you have virtually no money, it seems like all you foreigners have to do is pick the one you want. Now,
I don't know
even
about
if
that.
we
I
think
don't
we're
know
a
about that.
Lamborghini, we're eventually gonna get some dings and scratches. And we know that every week, a whole new shipment of brand new cars gets delivered to that lot right down the street. And all you have to do is leave us by the side of the road and go pick out another one.
Damn, that's a sad way to
Now
think
that
about it.
sounds really harsh, and you may not see it that way at all. But remember what I said about reality and perception? And in this case, it's the perception that as we age, there's always going to be a shinier new model to catch your eye, and nothing much stopping you from making a switch. All these gnawing insecurities keep us Filipinos asking ourselves the question, why would he still want me? Well, hopefully the answer is true love. And if you believe in it and are lucky enough to find it, then maybe you'll be able to put all those fears and insecurities into a little bottle and toss it into the sea of forgotten thoughts. Until you notice those crow's feet, wrinkles, and how's my armpits? I was thinking if I just got laser treatments, maybe those lines would disappear and I could raise my arms
Hey,
again.
this is quality content.
Okay, there's one more fear that I've saved for last because it's a little personal, and that's breast size.
Oh,
Nothing
God.
strikes fear into the hearts of some women more than worrying about how their chest measures up. And it looks like Mother Nature has abandoned the Filipina. According to dailymail.co and worlddata.info, Filipinas have the smallest chest on the planet, while Western women, Americans in particular, have the largest. Once again, I'm going to use my
I think it
trusty
varies, doesn't it?
whiteboard to show you the actual data. Now, obviously, not all Filipinas are the same size. It's always a bell curve like this.
I can't believe what I'm watching right now.
So the average Filipina has an A cup size. The bell curve for Western women is substantially different, with the average of full D cup size. As you can see, Oh, come on, guys. I swear, I can't take you anywhere.
That was great. Oh, there's another part?
Just one last thing before you go. If you think about it, I'm kind of like your bartender, listening to your comments and questions, giving you advice
that's
when I
very true.
can, and brewing up some intoxicating
What are we
content
drinking this
for
evening?
your enjoyment. The only thing I ask in return is a small tip in the form of a thumbs up on this video, subscribing to my channel,
You get a
sharing
reaction
this video with
thumbs
friends,
up.
and hitting the notification bell so you know when your next round
That was a
has
solid
been
video.
poured.
I think I've
I
learned a few
promise.
things from that.
It'll only take 10
Granted,
seconds to do.
A lot of this
And
is
your
from her
tip
perspective,
will
maybe
make
from her
my
friends
day.
as well.
You wouldn't want to shaft your bartender, would you? And for last call, why not enjoy some of my other videos too? See you real soon.
I wonder, because I didn't really do much research on this creator, so I don't know if this is a Filipina in the Philippines or a Filipina living overseas somewhere, because she sounds like she's got an American accent. Accent? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to take that video. Some of the things I was aware of, obviously, but some of them also apply to everyone, especially with the whole appearance. If you're aware of something that you're not happy with, you're gonna focus in on that one little thing and think that that's going to turn someone off, or that someone's not going to be interested in you because of that one little thing. That usually the small things people don't even notice. That's something that I've noticed, especially about myself. There was a great variety of humor, experience, and presentation. That was a solid video, and I think this sort of video helps people, especially foreigners that are going to the Philippines and hopefully finding a potential partner one day, to be aware of these things, especially when two different cultures collide. I know there are many foreigners that go over there specifically to find a partner, either because that's their preference or they just want out of their current life. Maybe they're not into whatever lifestyle that they've just come from. And by me reacting to this video, I'm not saying that I'm looking for a Filipina girlfriend. Maybe once upon a time I was leaning more towards that direction. I'm guessing this was more geared towards Filipinas in the Philippines and not Filipinas worldwide. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on this video. I don't know if this is even worth watching, this reaction video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.